Adia woke early the next morning. The station was quiet, except for the soft humming of machines. She stepped into the hallway, her bare feet making no sound on the metal floor. She followed the strange noises, clicks, buzzes, and the sound of music. It led her to Jared's workshop. The door was half open. Inside, the place looked like chaos. Wires hung from the ceiling. Half-built machines sat on tables. Screens blinked with strange symbols. In one corner, a robot with 3 legs was dancing to loud music. Aya raised an eyebrow. Jared was sitting in the middle of it all, wearing goggles, covered in grease, and laughing at something on his tablet. He hadn't noticed her yet. She stepped closer. "Is this your royal palace?" she asked. Jared jumped and nearly dropped a glowing tool. "Whoa, Aya, you scared me." She looked around, curious. "What is all this?" "My kingdom," he said proudly. "Welcome to the workshop, where dreams are made and safety rules are usually ignored." She walked slowly between the tables. One machine looked like a flying toaster. Another had arms made of spoons. "What does this one do?" she asked, pointing at a lumpy silver box. "That?" Jared scratched his head. "It was supposed to sort screws by size, but now it sings lullabies in 7 languages, by accident." Aya looked at him, unsure if he was joking. With Jared, it was hard to tell. He picked up a round gadget and handed it to her. "Try this." "What is it?" "Hold it, and think about light." She did. The gadget glowed softly in her hands, floating in the air like a small sun. Aya's eyes widened. "This is beautiful. Humans call it a mood lamp. I made it better. It responds to thought. Sort of. Still needs work." Aya smiled for the first time. It was small, but real. She sat down and watched Jared fix a broken drone, his hands moving quickly and confidently. He explained how he used old parts from different alien tech, how he tested things through trial and error, and how sometimes mistakes make better ideas. "You humans are strange," she said softly. "You build without order. You mix things that don't belong. Yet, it works." "That's how we survive," Jared said. "We don't have the biggest ships or the strongest tech, but we're good at making something out of nothing. We call it improvising." Aya nodded slowly. In her world, everything was planned. Every tool had one purpose. Every person had one path. But here, chaos created new things. She stayed in the workshop for hours, asking questions, touching tools, and even helping hold wires. Jared didn't treat her like a guest anymore. He treated her like a partner. For the first time, Aya felt something unexpected. Wonder. Days passed quietly on Outpost Theta. Aya now spent most of her time in the workshop, helping Jared. She organized his tools, asked clever questions, and even helped fix a broken cleaning bot. Jared noticed she was quick to learn. She had a sharp mind. Her calm way of thinking was different from his wild, messy style, but together, they worked well. One evening, they sat in the control room watching the stars through the glass window. Jared sipped his coffee. Aya held a warm cup of tea. "So," Jared said casually, "you've been here for a while now, and I still don't know where you're from exactly." Aya looked at him for a moment, then at the stars. "Do you really want to know?" "Sure," Jared shrugged. "Unless it's a secret." She was quiet for a few seconds. Then she spoke. "I am Ayeshtari Velas of the House Sorin, first daughter of Empress Lilari, Crown Princess of the Zilari Ascendancy." Jared blinked. "Wait, princess? Like, actual royal blood princess?" Aya nodded once. Jared nearly spilled his coffee. "You've been fixing screwdrivers with me for a week, and you're actually the heir to the biggest galactic empire." "I didn't lie," she said calmly. "You never asked the full question." He stared at her. "Okay, wow. That explains the way you talk, and the whole calm but scary vibe." Aya gave a small smile. I wasn't supposed to be here. There was a plan to hide me from danger. My own people sent me away, pretending I was a joke. A gift, to keep me safe. Jared's smile faded. Wait, someone was trying to hurt you. Not just someone, she said. A group inside the Royal Council. They want to take control. I was in the way. So they removed me, without needing to harm me. They just made me disappear. Jared leaned back in his chair. That's actually kind of smart, and really messed up. Aya looked down at her tea. I was supposed to stay hidden forever. They thought humans wouldn't notice, that no one would care. Jared looked at her seriously. Well, they didn't count on you landing in my workshop. She looked at him, curious. So, what will you do now that you know who I am? Jared gave a crooked smile. Same thing I did before. Fix things. Make tea. And now maybe help a space princess get her life back. Aya blinked. No one had ever said that to her without wanting something in return. You are a strange human, Jared Mace. Thanks, he said. I try my best. That night, Aya didn't return to her room right away. She stayed up reading messages on the hidden chip from her old royal ship, messages she hadn't dared open before. The truth was there, buried in codes and data. They had erased her. But now, with Jared beside her, she had a new thought, one she hadn't felt since she left the palace. Aya sat alone in the workshop while Jared took a nap in his chair, snoring softly with a wrench still in his hand. The lights were dim, and the soft humming of the machines made the room feel peaceful. But Aya wasn't calm. Her hands moved quickly over a small datapad. She had finally unlocked the secret folder hidden deep inside the chip from her royal escape pod. It took her 3 nights to break the encryption. Jared had helped by building a strange translator using parts from an old toy robot and a cooking assistant. He called it ChefBot 9000. It wasn't smart, but it worked. Now, Aya was reading secret messages from high-level council members. Her eyes scanned the text quickly. What she saw made her stomach tighten. Operation Veil is successful. The princess is gone. No trace left. Announce her death next week. Begin crowning process for High Regent Forlex. Do not contact Outpost Theta. Keep it off all public star charts. Aya closed her eyes. It was worse than she thought. They hadn't just hidden her. They had erased her. They told the galaxy she was dead. She stood and walked to Jared, gently tapping his shoulder. Wake up. He opened one eye. Did the replicator attack again? No. I found the truth. Jared sat up quickly. Aya handed him the pad. He read the messages slowly, his face growing serious. They didn't just hide you. They made sure no one would ever look for you. Yes, Aya said softly. And now the Empire believes I am gone forever. The Council plans to take full control. No one will question them. Jared stood and paced. We need to get this out. Show the galaxy you're alive. No one will believe me, she said, not without proof. Not with me hiding in a human outpost. Jared paused. Then he grinned. Then we stop hiding. Aya looked at him. How? Jared's grin widened. With the most powerful tool humans ever invented. She raised an eyebrow. A weapon? No, Jared said. The internet. Aya blinked. The what? Social media. Video feeds. Viral stories. We tell your truth in a way no royal council can silence. If we can't go to the Empire, we'll bring the people to you. Aya slowly smiled. That is unusual. It's the human way, Jared said proudly. When we can't kick down the door, we break in through the back window and make memes on the way. Aya laughed softly. It was the first real laugh she'd had in months. She looked at the stars outside the window. If they were going to take her life from her, then she would take it back. Not with an army, not with fear, but with truth and maybe a little human chaos. Inside the dusty storage room of Outpost Theta, Jared had built something new. Wires, cameras, and old communication dishes were spread across the floor. A glowing sign on the wall blinked. OIV in 3, 2, 1. Aya sat in front of a camera. Her silver hair was tied back. Her eyes, calm but sharp, stared straight ahead. "Are you sure this will work?" she asked. Jared adjusted the microphone. "Not just work. It'll blow up. Humans love drama. And an alive princess exposing a galactic conspiracy. That's front-page news on every planet." Aya took a deep breath. Jared nodded. "Okay, you're living 3, 2, now." The screen blinked. A soft blue light filled the room. Aya began to speak. "To the people of the Zilari Empire and beyond. I am Princess Ayashtari Velas. I am not dead." Her voice was clear. Her face strong. The message went out across dozens of human networks, pirate feeds, and even low-level alien channels. Aya continued. "The High Council lied. They sent me away, calling me a joke, a gift to humans. But I survived, and I have proof." She held up the datapad. Jared had helped her upload everything. The council messages, recordings, even her royal ID chip. Within minutes, people began reacting. Human chat rooms exploded. Alien news bots started scanning the message. And then, the Empire noticed. Red warning lights flashed in the corner of the workshop. Jared checked the console. "They're trying to shut down the signal." "Can they?" Aya asked. "They can try," Jared said. "But I routed the feed through a dozen human meme servers. They'll have to fight cat videos and cooking tutorials to block it." Aya blinked. "That is strange and effective." "Exactly," Jared grinned. Suddenly, the outpost shook. Boom. They both jumped. Jared ran to the window. A sleek black ship hovered outside. Zilari stealth class. "They found us," Jared said. "That was fast." Aya stood tall. "They won't risk destroying me." "Not now. Too many eyes are watching." She was right. The broadcast had reached deep parts of the galaxy. Even now, people were sharing it. Citizens of the Empire were asking questions. Loyal soldiers, once silent, were starting to doubt their leaders. The council couldn't silence her anymore. But the danger had only just begun. Jared grabbed a small case from under the table and tossed Aya a tool belt. "Looks like it's time for Plan B." "What is Plan B?" she asked. "Running. Fast," he said, "and maybe stealing one of their ships." Aya smiled. "Now that sounds very human." As the outpost trembled again, the two of them rushed toward the hangar, side by side. For the first time, Aya wasn't running from something. She was running toward it, with a human at her side, a galaxy watching, and fire in her heart. The hangar doors of Outpost Theta groaned as they opened. Cold air rushed in, followed by the deafening hum of the black Zilari ship hovering just outside. Jared and Aya ran toward Jared's old, rusty cargo ship, the Rust Bucket 7. It wasn't fast. It wasn't pretty. But it was theirs. "Are you sure this ship still works?" Aya asked, jumping over a loose fuel pipe. "Of course," Jared shouted, then added, "Probably." Behind them, the black ship began to lower. Its doors opened, and armored soldiers stepped out, Zilari elites. Their armor shimmered like glass, and their weapons crackled with energy. "They don't look friendly," Jared muttered. Aya turned and raised her hand. "Stop," she shouted in her royal voice. "I am Princess Ayashtari Velas. You will stand down." The soldiers paused. One of them, taller and wearing red markings, raised his helmet visor. His face was cold. "We were told the princess was dead," he said. "Well," Jared said, stepping in front of Aya, "you were told wrong." "Surprise." The soldier raised his weapon. "We have orders." Aya stepped beside Jared. "Then disobey them. Look at me. Do I look dead? The soldiers hesitated. For a moment, no one moved. Then, another voice came from the black ship's speaker, cold, commanding. Ignore her. She is an imposter. Take her. The soldiers moved forward. Jared grabbed Aya's hand. No time to argue. Run. They dashed toward Rust Bucket 7. Blaster fire hit the ground behind them. Sparks flew. A warning siren screamed through the hangar. Jared slammed his hand on the ship's door. It creaked open just in time. They dove inside, and the door shut behind them. Strap in, Jared shouted, jumping into the pilot's seat. This might get bumpy. Aya sat beside him, grabbing the co-pilot controls like he had taught her. The engines coughed, then roared to life. Outside, the black ship began to rise, blocking their path. They're trying to trap us, Aya said. Then let's show them some human creativity, Jared grinned. He pulled a switch, and the cargo doors behind them blew open, dropping crates of old scrap metal onto the soldiers below. The distraction worked. Jared slammed the throttle. The Rust Bucket 7 launched forward, engines screaming. The ship twisted through the narrow canyon near the outpost, dodging rocky cliffs. The black ship followed closely behind, faster, sleeker. They're gaining on us, Aya warned. Jared smirked. Good. Let them get close. He pressed a button. The hidden hatch opened at the back of their ship, releasing a trail of tiny spheres. Boom! A flash of light exploded behind them. The black ship swerved hard to avoid the mines. Aya looked at Jared with surprise. You had mines on board. Jared winked. Always keep a surprise or two. As the stars opened up ahead of them, the Rust Bucket 7 shot into deep space. Behind them, the Empire was chasing. But ahead of them, a galaxy waiting to hear the truth. The stars outside the window of the Rust Bucket 7 blurred into lines as the ship jumped into hyperspace. Inside, everything was silent, except for the quiet beeping of the control panel and the soft hum of the engines. Aya sat with her eyes closed, her hand resting on the datapad. Her heart was beating fast, but her mind was sharp. They had escaped. For now. Jared stood near the back of the ship, checking for damage. A few wires sparked. One wall panel was hanging off. We'll need to land somewhere soon, he said. This ship wasn't built for space chases. Aya opened her eyes. I know a place, but it's dangerous. Jared raised an eyebrow. Dangerous is my middle name. Well, not really, but it should be. Aya ignored his joke. There's a planet called Vironus. It's on the edge of Empire space. My mother once told me that if I was ever in trouble, I should find a woman named Malra there. Jared typed the name into the ship's database. Not much information. Just a small jungle world. Doesn't even show up on most star maps. That's why it's safe, Aya said. Malra is a shadow advisor. My mother trusted her. Jared nodded. All right, princess. Let's find your secret contact. After a few hours of quiet flying, the Rust Bucket 7 dropped out of hyperspace above a green, foggy planet. Jungle storms moved like waves across the surface. Welcome to Vironus, Jared said. Looks wet. The ship landed on a cliffside platform hidden among tall trees. The air was thick and full of strange sounds, chirps, howls, and wind whispering through the leaves. As they stepped out of the ship, a group of cloaked figures appeared from the forest. Jared stepped in front of Aya. Let me guess. These are the welcoming party. One figure stepped forward and pulled back her hood. She was an older woman with silver eyes and dark skin, wearing armor made from animal bones and old tech. Ayashtari Velas, she said. You are alive. Aya stepped forward. Malra. The woman nodded. Your mother was wise to send you away. The council moves faster than even I expected. Come, we must talk. Malra led them through the jungle to a hidden base, carved into a cliffside. Inside were screens, maps, and armed rebels, some human, some alien. These people, Malora said, are the last few who still believe in your mother's vision. They are ready to fight. Aya looked around, surprised. I thought I was alone. You were, Malora said, until now. Jared leaned in and whispered, well, looks like you've got yourself a rebellion. Aya looked at the people in the room, young and old, soldiers and hackers, all waiting for her. For the first time since she left the Empire, Aya stood tall not as a hidden girl, but as a leader. Inside the hidden base on Vironus, things moved quickly. Aya stood in front of a large table with glowing maps and data screens. Rebellion leaders from different planets were gathered around her, some in armor, others in robes or tech gear. They all looked at her with respect. Jared leaned against the wall, chewing on a snack bar. You know, he said, I never thought I'd be part of a rebellion. I just wanted to fix old engines. Aya gave him a small smile, and I just wanted to stay alive. Malora, standing beside her, spoke in a strong voice. The time to hide is over. The Empire is weak at the center. The Council rules through fear, but people are angry. They remember your mother's name, Princess, and now they know you're alive. Aya looked at the map. Red dots marked enemy fleets. Green dots marked allied planets. There weren't many green dots. Not yet. We need more support, she said. If we attack now, we'll be crushed. A tall human rebel with a cybernetic eye stepped forward. Then we give the people a reason to rise. One big message, one impossible act. Jared snapped his fingers. I've got it. What if we take back a planet? A royal planet. A place that proves Aya is the true heir. Everyone turned to him. He shrugged. What? I have good ideas sometimes. Aya's eyes lit up. There is one. Veltrian. It was my mother's birthplace. It was loyal to our family for generations, until the Council took it by force. Malra nodded. Veltrian is symbolic. If we free it, the Empire can't ignore you anymore. Then it's settled, Aya said, her voice steady. We take back Veltrian. The room filled with excitement. Plans were made. Ships were assigned. Codes were exchanged. The rebellion was no longer a secret whisper. It was becoming a storm. Later that night, Aya stood on a balcony above the jungle, staring at the stars. Jared walked up beside her, holding 2 cups of warm tea. Can't sleep. Aya took the cup with a soft, thank you. She sipped it slowly. I keep thinking about what's coming, she said. People could die. For me. Jared looked serious. People are dying already. For lies. At least now they'll fight for something real. Aya looked at him. You've stayed with me through everything. Even when you didn't have to. Jared smiled. I didn't do it for duty. I did it because you're my friend. And now, you're also my cause. She smiled back, and for a moment, all the fear faded. In the morning, ships would rise. The rebellion would fly under the banner of a princess who had once been given away as a joke. Now, she would return as a symbol, not just of royalty, but of hope. The skies above Veltrian burned with light as rebel ships burst out of hyperspace. Fighters, freighters, and stealth cruisers all flew in formation under one signal, the symbol of the lost princess. Aya stood in the command ship's control room, wearing a black and silver uniform, marked with her royal crest. Her hair was tied back, her eyes focused. Behind her stood Jared, in his patched-up pilot suit, chewing nervously on a protein bar. So, how do we win again? Aya smiled slightly. By doing what humans do best. Mess things up. Exactly. Malora's voice crackled through the comms. We've jammed enemy sensors. Begin the drop. Aya nodded. Send the signal. Across every major broadcast station on Veltrian, screens flickered. Then, Aya's face appeared. People of Veltrian, I am Ayeshtari Velis. You were told I was dead. You were told to forget my family, but I remember you. And today, I come not just as a princess. I come as your voice." The people stared at their screens, stunned. Some dropped tools, some whispered, some cried. And then, they rose. Old soldiers picked up their weapons. Citizens blocked enemy patrols. Hackers opened gates and shut down defense grids. The planet answered her call. The Empire's forces, though strong, were confused. Some officers refused to fight. Others fled. In the skies, rebel ships clashed with Empire cruisers. Jared led a squadron through tight canyons, dodging lasers, shouting orders. "Don't crash into the trees this time." He yelled into the radio. "We just got these ships." Aya, aboard her command ship, gave calm, clear directions. Her voice gave hope. Her plan gave strength. By nightfall, the battle was over. Veltrian was free. Aya landed on the central plaza, where crowds had gathered. People cheered as she stepped down from the ship. One by one, they knelt. She shook her head. "No, stand. I'm not here to be worshipped. I'm here to lead with you." Mallory stepped beside her and whispered, "You've done it. You've taken your first world." Jared appeared, covered in dust and grease, "And we didn't even explode. That's a win in my book." Aya laughed, a sound full of relief. But then she turned serious. "This is only the beginning," she said. "The Empire will come. They will fight harder. Lie more. Try everything to take this back." She raised her voice, speaking to the crowd. "But we will not stop. Because now they know the truth. The lost princess lives. The people are awake. And the galaxy is ready for change." The people roared. That night, across the stars, more systems joined the rebellion. More soldiers switched sides. More hearts lit with hope. And at the center of it all stood one girl, once cast away as a joke, now a queen in the making, with a stubborn human friend at her side. The war was not over. But the galaxy had found its leader. Mara Quinn was not born to be a slave. She was born on Earth, trained as a starship linguist, and believed in peace between species. Her mind was sharp, her heart full of hope. But everything changed the Dagger ship, the Vigilant Star, entered Zokar space. The Zokar were insect-like aliens, cold and cruel. When the peace talks failed, the Zokar demanded something in return for letting the human crew live. Commander Nathan Hale, Mara's leader, and the man she once loved, made a choice. He handed her over to the Zokar as a bargaining chip. "She's just a translator," he said, "just a slave to them anyway." That was the last thing she heard before being dragged away in chains. Now, 5 years later, Mara worked in the deep mines of Veltrax 9. The sun never touched this planet. Everything was gray, cold, and full of dust. She carried heavy rocks, cleaned acid tubes, and was beaten if she spoke out of turn. Around her were hundreds of alien prisoners, all broken, silent, and afraid. But Mara was not broken. She watched, she listened, she learned. While other slaves gave up, she started to notice things. The guard shifts, the weak points in the fences, and the way certain alien prisoners whispered to each other in secret languages. Mara remembered every word. She had once been trained to speak 50 alien tongues. Now, that gift became her secret weapon. She used it to speak quietly with other prisoners. A three-eyed creature from Junder, a silent robot from a fallen empire, a former rebel pilot from a water world. Slowly, she connected them all. Not with weapons, but with words. One night, while resting in the cold stone chambers, an old alien prisoner coughed beside her. He was a Vexeri, a species long thought extinct. His voice was rough, his eyes dim, but he looked at Mara with a strange kind of respect. "You listen," he said. "You learn. That is the mark of a queen." Mara laughed. "A queen. Here. In this place." But the Vexeri was serious. He pulled a small stone out from his rags. It glowed faintly blue. "This is a map," he whispered, "to a forgotten throne. One that does not care if you are human or alien. It only follows strength and truth." He pressed the stone into her hand, then closed his eyes for the last time. That night, Mara did not sleep. She stared at the glowing map, her mind racing. She had been thrown away, betrayed, and chained like nothing. But this old alien saw something more in her, something powerful. And for the first time in years, she felt something rise inside her. Not anger, not revenge. Purpose. The world saw her as a slave. She would show them she was meant to be a queen.